Look at, I suppose after a long campaign and it's not over yet, but I suppose to see an acknowledgement from TII that there are issues with Junction 13 and particularly with the off-ramps coming from the Galway side onto the Tulla Road and also from the Shannon coming to the Innes off as well. They have acknowledged that both of those need to be upgraded and elongated is, I suppose, lengthen really is what we're talking about here. And I suppose that is welcome news because there has been serious accidents in the past on some of those junctions, and I think we need to make sure that what we're doing now brings it up to that design standard that's required, particularly with the volume of traffic on that bypass. And I think while I welcome it, and I think it's good news, and I think Mr. O'Neill from the TII was on Clare today talking about that. I think if they're doing a review again, they need to continue that review with Junction 14 as well, the Barefield one, because it's the same design. And also, I think the on-ramp, if you're hitting for Shannon or hitting from Galway off of at the Tulla Road or Barefield, both of them need to be reviewed as well, because I don't think that the design is up to standard.
Is that a disappointing aspect of what we're learning today, given that the issues at both junctions are more or less identical?
I think he more or less let the cat out of the bag in a way today, because he talked about tight radius design. At the time, they were the design of the standard, and that more or less the traffic that's on that motorway now needs a major upgrade on those exits. And I think while I welcome, and it's very good news to see that they're actually taking on board after a very long and torturous campaign to get to this level, that we're actually, and a lot of people have been involved in the council, have been very supportive in trying to get to this level. But I think we need to make sure that we bring both junctions up to that national standard that's required on motorways now, because it's a very busy road, the Galway-Limerick road now. And I think we really need to make sure going forward that we avoid any challenges or accidents in the future, particularly when you're going on the motorway. And I think the people in Barefield will also want to fight this campaign, because it is challenging as well getting off in Barefield as well. And I think we need to make sure that this is an ongoing review and that other elements will be changed in the future as well.
We heard today that over 40 crashes have taken place on the M18 and N18 in Clare between September and December of last year, and from January to August there were only 18, so we're looking at double that number in a 3-month stretch as opposed to a 9-month stretch. With these new advancements and with the Junction 13 and perhaps down the line Junction 14 addressed and made safer, how big an impact could that have on the general safety of that route?
I think while anything that'll help to improve junctions will, of course, and avoid accidents, but I think there's some serious question marks somewhere, in my view, about the whole road network, because the spike in accidents seems to be incredible in a way, and it's very hard to put it down to junction or to driver behaviour, because I would imagine, you see, ultimately that road was built as a dual carriageway design, not a motorway design. And it's a very low grade motorway design at the moment. So I think we probably need to review all that section road. And I suppose the other point is that while we go from motorway down to dual carriageway status, and a lot of the end of that road as well down into Limerick, and that probably needs to be brought forward as well if we're serious about it, because there's very few areas now that are left at motorway standard. So there's a number of things that need to be reviewed here. I suppose my ultimate aim here is to try and get the junctions at Junction 13 and 14 resolved, so that there's no fatalities or no accidents in those areas, but there are further improvements that are required in the motorway sector as well.
Just finally, Pat, Colm Frawley from the Clare Fire and Rescue Service today was asked about road policing, because lots of people have called for more representatives from the Gardaí Road Policing Unit to be present on the motorway, to be monitoring that as a means of deterring unsafe driver behaviour. His response was that the Gardaí are doing what they can, and that it's a matter for the Gardaí if they decide to increase their visibility on that route. Do you think that there should be more of an effort made to have more roads policing on the M18 and N18?
Of course, there should be, and I think it is only when you drive those roads you suddenly realise that there are people that are continuously breaking the speed limits. My understanding is that the section between Nina, where it has the defined speed limit, there are 10 to 15 cars every day breaking the speed limit in that area as it is. So that will tell you the whole driver system, that where people are breaking the rules everywhere and breaking the speed limits, and that in itself ultimately leads to accidents, and particularly when you have dangerous junctions where people are pulling off and all that as well, and doesn't give forward space for people to move on, and leads to issues as well. So I think policing is a big issue, and it's something that will be brought up now with the new community policing forum, which is starting the end of this month as well.